Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Ms. Martram?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
Here. She won't be here, so I'd like to appoint Vivian Pease, if you'd like to come forward and take a seat. And you have full voting privileges and all that.
I
good
know,
stuff.
Rob's not gonna shut me down. Huh?
Okay, public notice was in the Tribune this morning. Bristol zoning commission will meet at 6 p.m. today at the Township Administration Building. Opening public for questions, comments. Ellen, anything that you'd like to bring forward?
Nothing right now that I can think of.
Matt?
No, good to go.
Corey?
No, sir. No, thank you.
Doug? Next item on the agenda is the zoning inspector report.
No, you forgot.
Yeah, I forgot the minutes.
Yes, I
We
did.
have a motion to approve the minutes from our meeting on April 8th.
I'm
Robin?
second.
Second. Darrell? Roll call.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Ms. Pierce?
Yes.
Ms. Margiano?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
Now we can go to the zoning inspector report. There's one permit issued to Aaron Yoder, 1116 High Schaefer Road, at 24 Control Building, 3 addresses issued, and report sent to the county auditor. Anybody have any questions or anything on that? I think you're on distribution now. Yeah. For that, you weren't getting that?
Okay.
Yeah, that taken care of, so. Thank you, Ellen, for getting that taken care of.
Yeah, it was kind of slim this time.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is accessory dwelling units. Robin, you have some information for us?
Yes, I actually talked to Jim Davies. He's with Hartford. They are dealing with the same issues we are, or I shouldn't say dealing with issues, but trying to work these out right now. They came up with a solution, and I'm gonna go to their meeting and talk with them, and there's also a gentleman named Brock that's supposed to call me this week, that's part of the board, that, he's gonna tell me different situations that they're going through. They've put, so far, they have wrote in theirs that, if you put a second dwelling unit, it has to be separate parcels, that you have to separate the house, parcel. So if you have a 10-acre lot, you have to separate it so that it has enough.
That's subdivided.
Subdivided, yeah, sorry. But if you put it behind, like, say you want to build a little mother-in-law suite or something like that, the electric, gas, water, everything the utilities have to come from the main house. There will not be a separate driveway. And what else did he tell me? Oh, and then the septic. So,
Can you write all that stuff down and send it to everybody?
yeah, he's gonna get me a copy of everything. That's why I'm gonna go meet him and get a copy of how they have theirs wrote exactly. And then I'm gonna just email it out to everybody. So, if I don't get it at the meeting, I'm gonna try to go before the meeting the 20th and go get everything. They're dealing with that. They have a lot of different ideas, and they were very happy to collaborate with us about different stuff. They're like excited, actually. Very nice. Yeah.
So would that be more like a flag setup?
Flag setups are, from what I was told, that's not allowed, correct?
What?
Trumbull County flag law is not like,
Yeah, I
Trumbull.
want you.
Okay.
Yeah.
he'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked to Trumbull County about that. They actually have supersede us on that, don't they?
Pardon?
Don't they supersede us on that? No? For the, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay,
that's it.
that's all I got so far, yeah.
At our last meeting, we did agree to send a request to the Trumbull County prosecutor for a definition of an accessory dwelling unit. And I did get that back from you. And I finally sent it out. I apologize for being late on that. There are a lot of other things going on earlier in the month, and I just lost track of some of these things that I should have done earlier in the year. This is one of them. in the definition that we came up with, and I think hopefully you all made a copy of that. Copy of it?
No, I just came from a job. I had to go show a house, so.
Accessory dwelling unit ADU is a separate structure. And this is what the prosecutor came up with. We had self-contained dwelling unit, and he scratched that out and added separate structure. Designed for occupancy by one family whose use is subordinate and incidental to the larger single-family dwelling unit located on the lot parcel. And then we went further with the definition, and unit located on lot parcel he added there also. An ADU may be in addition to the dwelling unit, he added that. That serves as a principal use of the lot parcel. An ADU may be a modified structure that currently exists on the tax duplicate as an accessory structure on a lot parcel. Only one ADU is permitted per lot parcel. And the last item I thought was very interesting also. An ADU, we had should, he changed it to shall. He took out not, he added not, be a new, he scratched that out, the only structure located on a lot parcel. So, yeah. This was his definition, we asked for a definition, we had a definition we had, and we sent that to him, and he made these changes. So, as we go forward, at least we'll have a definition that is somewhat a legal definition of what an ADU is. Pursue that.
Right, like a she shed.
Yeah.
60 ski shed
Yeah.
someday. Okay.
See, we had a new structure in there. And he struck that out. Because he's in past dealings with him, if you don't allow something, you better have a reason for it. Because somebody could sue you for discrimination. So if we don't allow a new structure on a lot, we could be opening ourselves up, or the township be opened up for a lawsuit because we're discriminating. I want to get some more clarification on that because, Jeff, a couple meetings ago, said he didn't want to see a separate
So
structure.
that's why I said what they're writing in theirs. It's totally different.
I'm sorry?
What their Hartford's writing, how they're writing theirs up for an ADU is like not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. And theirs is getting they're, so as I said, I want to read theirs real good before we.
Oh, I just
Anything
want to get the
concrete.
definition.
Right, no,
before we
right.
Go forward on this because we all need to understand what we're going to be writing up here. And I'd be very interested to see what Hartford has. So as soon as you can get that, to
I
us,
will.
I sure would appreciate that.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What about Amish compounds? Where families, one driveway, 3, 4, 5 houses.
Well, that's a good question, Doug. That's what Farmington was struggling with.
Oh, that's where I've seen it the most.
And that's what that's what they're trying
Is
to.
that right?
Because of those, they don't, no separate driveways. Means like, and you have to have separate parcels. So if say they have 3 structures for 3 families, they have to have 3 separate parcels.
That's what Hartford is saying.
That's what Hartford's saying right
So
now.
they're subdividing.
They're
it.
subdividing it. Well,
On
just like,
one driveway?
no. If say you build an ADU behind
Mhm.
and the utilities are from your house. So you're like, I'm putting grandma back there,
Yeah.
So I'm supplying all the utilities back there. It's just like a little, we'll say a she shed, just for lack of terms.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're living back there and there's no separate driveway to it. It's part of that house still. It's part of the main home.
Right.
Once it has a driveway, that means you have to have a separate parcel.
Parcel, okay.
So
There's your subdivision of
there's your
your,
subdivision.
Okay.
And you have to have separate utilities and you have to have, but even so, okay, so say we go back to, it doesn't have the separate utilities, no driveway, blah, blah. Now you gotta do septic. So say this is a 2-bedroom, this house is a 3, but now you gotta put septic in for a 5-bedroom home.
Okay, so for example,
They're not, go ahead.
if you go across 88 to Old State, turn left, that old farm that was probably 200 acres, there's a family of 3 houses, 1 driveway. And I believe 1, maybe 2 barns where they're sharing the barn for all their animals and then 1 big pasture out back. There's 3 septic
Separate.
for each house.
That makes sense.
And personally, I'd rather see that than us enforce that somebody has to buy 150 feet, put up a house, and then we've got 200 acres of nothing behind it because somebody can't afford to buy 2 acres, 5 acres, whatever,
Well, then
150
you
foot
want
right
to give
of
up agricultural area?
You're gonna do better by not chewing up agricultural land because you're not gonna have all these houses up front with no access to back. That's what I'm worried about. We're gonna have all this land chewed up across the road frontage and everything else is landlocked in the back because nobody's gonna share
Mm.
with no access points.
Well, let's
Yes,
see,
Jared.
there you go. I say let's see how Hartford writes theirs up. How they're actually going to personally write it up. Let's look it over and see what they're doing, because they're trying to keep everything agricultural over in their area too. And they don't want everything to get turned into like little small developments or whatever. So I say let's see what they come up with, brainstorm with them a little bit.
I'll go through and change this, update this definition and what Jason came up with, and then I'll get it sent out to everybody sooner than later. I hope. Won't be this week, but I'll get it out.
Time's flying, let me tell you, it's ridiculous.
Pardon?
I said time's flying, we're like middle of May.
Okay, let's jump to rear houses next. We also asked Jason to give us a definition of rear house. And definitely, we sent him a dwelling, and then he added this information. Dwelling unit erected on the rear, to the rear of another. And he added dwelling unit on his, both of which are located on the same lot parcel, and that has access to street frontage as part of that lot parcel or by easement, which is executed and filed with the county recorder in a separate lot parcel. So this is going to get real muddy before we're all done. And I probably opened up a Pandora's box when I first brought this ADU thing up. But
You're not the only township, every
it's
township's,
better to be looking
Yeah.
at it and trying to address it than get caught later on without.
every township's dealing with it right now, and all their meetings are going on right now. So everybody's trying to come up with a solution, so it's not just us.
So I'll do the same thing with this definition of rear house and pass it on to everybody. And I also asked Kim Vaughn down at the planning commission. My original question to her was, I sent to Kim. It stated, I have looked at several zoning resolutions in the hope of finding a definition of a rear house. Is there a definition? Thanks for your help. And she came up, she sent some information back about flag lots. So I think this whole, there's three things gonna be happening here, rear houses, flag lots, which we don't address in our zoning book right now. And ADUs, and rear houses, and all this stuff, so it's gonna be a very complex issue going forward, so. We're gonna have to keep our heads kind of,
Pivoting.
to the grindstone on it and not get confused and let other things muddy the water as we go through this whole process. Okay. Anything else on that Anybody wants to bring up? At our last meeting, the question came up about Bitcoins, Wyndham Township and noise. I did send an email to Jason Toffett in the county prosecutor's office. My question to Jason at that time was, at the last zoning commission meeting, we were asked if we had a way through zoning to regulate noise. Are there any statutes that provide the township with authority to regulate noise? Revised Code 505.172 refers to liquor permit. RC 505.172C refers to mining and recreation if you have, period. If you have addressed this topic with the trustees in the past, I apologize for duplicating this request. That goes back to several years ago. We got into a discussion of the township. We had a public hearing, public meeting out there, and
It's the largest public hearing we've ever had.
it was about noise. And Jason came back with his opinion.
This is the one about the, in North Bristol here?
No, this was about, we had a lot of guns
Oh, okay.
going on and everything. We were trying to see if we could regulate how late they could shoot guns.
I was thinking it was the four-wheeler track.
Oh, there was a lot in that
That
one. You
was
guys
a
were
lot.
trying to regulate dirt bikes, chainsaws, guns. I
That's
mean,
why.
there was all kinds of crazy stuff that drew out everybody.
Okay, Jason's response back to me was, you have correctly referenced the provision of the Ohio Revised Code that authorizes Ohio townships to regulate noise. However, with respect to RC 505.172B, please be advised that this section also authorizes the township to regulate noise that is generated within any areas of the township zoned for residential use. To this end, Howland Township has passed a home rule resolution relative to the regulation of noise generated at a Class D liquor establishment. Although Howland Township's regulations pertain to noise generated at a Class D liquor establishment, the substance of the regulations may be tailored to noise generated within the township zone for residential use. Further, the substance of the regulations set forth in Howland Township's zone noise resolution, which is available on Howland Township's website, was previously approved by the Court of Appeals of Ohio, 11th District, in the City of Niles versus Leonard, December 23, 2000. Any noise, it goes on to state, any noise regulation should be adopted by the township's board of trustees as opposed to being placed in or part of the township zoning resolution. Further, the requirements for approving any noise resolution, including the criminal penalties for any violations of the same, are set forth in RC 505.172, and the posting requirements, etc., set forth in RC 505.17, which pertains to the regulation of motor vehicle engine noise, should be followed, as well as in the adoption of noise resolution under 505.172. I trust that this opinion contains the information that you are seeking. If you have any questions relative to the matters discussed herein, please contact me at your convenience. And I took a big sigh of relief and said, that's township trustees' business. We don't have anything to do with it. Sorry, Doug.
Yeah,
So that's on you, buddy.
Yeah. we're gonna, at 6 o'clock, you can't run your tractor.
Right.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
I know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's, what can I say? It's a-
And the
it's a
discussion, the
It's a
discussion,
loser all the way around.
yeah, but the discussion we had, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
And it brought up just like you said, all these points. What about this? What about this? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, we're a rural community
You know,
and you sort of.
and your point
Gotta
about
know it.
what the Bitcoin thing in Wyndham Township is great. You know, it's something we all need to be thinking about, but there's all of these other side issues
Sure.
that generate
Yeah.
out of that.
Wouldn't that fall under commercial anyway? So like if I tried to put that up on my farm, I'd be shut down because I'm not commercial.
I don't know what Wyndham's zoning
Yeah.
resolution looks like.
It just, for me, it doesn't make sense that the guy just put up this monster building and got away with it by running a 500 horsepower generator, 110 decibels, 24/7. I mean, I'd be lighting a stick of dynamite underneath the thing when the guy's going.
Well, somebody had to give him a permit.
Yeah, there you go.
One would
you
think
know.
so. One
Yeah,
would
there
think.
you go.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what Wyndham's zoning
Right.
resolution reads like, so we
Yeah.
can't really talk about that. But, I was just glad
Yeah.
to pass the buck on to you,
Yeah,
bud.
you would.
So. Okay. Any other questions on that? Next item on the agenda is political signs. Oh, one thing I'd like to do. Would somebody volunteer to look at our zoning ordinance and do a word search on how many places we have the word noise? Not right now, but just do a word search.
Yeah.
Tara's gonna be ready.
Okay, I'm off. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Don't work too hard.
Okay.
Keep that in balance.
Next item is political signs. Section 3. Okay. I did send a note letter to the Trumbull County prosecutor again on this one. And this was his response. Ken, please be advised that there is no section 1179.011 in the Ohio Revised Code, and that there is no provision in the Ohio Revised Code that regulates political signs in the manner highlighted in your email earlier today. Notwithstanding this consideration, I am attaching 2 excellent articles relative to political signs and reasons why township should not attempt to regulate the same, including any regulations pertaining to how long a political sign should be displayed. I trust that this email and the attached articles contain the information that you are seeking. If you have any questions relative to the matters discussed here, please contact me at your convenience. And that 1179.01 that you find is Norwalk, Ohio. It's a city ordinance.
Yeah.
On that. So cities and villages and towns have been granted certain privileges that the state legislature said townships, and thumb your nose at you.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I just want to say thanks for taking an extra step and finding out. I mean,
yeah, well, I was glad to see, get the information from him, and there were 2 fine articles. I don't know if anybody had, I hope everybody's had a chance to read those 2 articles. But there's a lot of good information in there. Now, we have a little problem. Back in 2014, at the request of the Bristol Township trustees, we added a section added some text in subsection E under exemptions, paragraph F. And it states, no political signs are permitted on any property owned by Bristol Township. Examples, the park, cemeteries, fire department, but not limited to these areas. So we might.
I remember that.
We probably should take that out.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Since we're in violation of what, you have a question on your face?
No.
No, I mean, Robin.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you can just rescind it.
Pardon?
You just, with
Well, we
your,
have to go through the whole.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
do you want to keep it through in the cemeteries and all, like keep that?
can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't regulate signs, political signs. That's the next whole, that's the, so I will prepare, for our next meeting, a request to the zoning commission to remove that section from our zoning ordinance, so. Okay, You know, it's, well, anyway, I've got my opinion to so I
I think we all agree with you on that one.
I thought that was for all signs, Ken, in the park and that.
United States, no political signs.
It's
What if you-
political, huh?
She brought up a good point though. What if you put no signs? No signs, you're not specifying political, so that means you have no signs.
Doesn't say political, just says no signs.
Why can't
That's a
you,
good question.
why can't you good?
Well, we could add that into our.
So if you do that, then they can't put a sign there, whether it be political or
Well, then
otherwise.
No advertising.
They can do political if they want to, but they know better, you know,
Yeah.
you can't say they can't, right?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying you can't
The
say it.
second article.
So they're saying that any,
was excellent.
any political sign can go wherever they wanna put it. Pretty much what they're
Pretty
saying.
much what the state legislature has allowed by not.
And the townships can't do anything about it, but the cities can.
You're different, Robin.
Well, we're better.
Well, I know, but the cities have more power, that's what Ken said.
Yeah.
Cities to villages and
Yeah, they
something else. Townships are very limited.
Super limited.
Yeah,
The unincorporated, the whole kicker is it's an unincorporated area, so you don't need all this other fancy stuff.
they can tell you how many dogs you can have in town and stuff like that. There's a lot of regulations, and we can't do that.
Okay, next item on the agenda was Airbnb. And we talked about that last month. And I sent an email to Kim Vaughn asking her if there's if any of the townships in Trumbull County were taking any action on Airbnbs or doing anything. And she sent back, there has been some casual talk about vacation rentals, but that is all. So nobody's doing anything about it.
And I think Hartford's one of the ones that are talking about. So when I talk to them, I'll try to get, yeah.
Yeah. But do we want to regulate Airbnbs? I'm not looking to, though.
I
It's
thought
just-
the state was working on that too.
They could be, but there's nothing,
No, I think they're scratching it, but I'm not certain. I'm quoting on that.
Ken, is there a way to differentiate between an Airbnb permanent structure versus a camper? So if somebody actually has a house that's a permanent structure, typically they're not going to be as wild as somebody who's probably renting a camper for the weekend.
When Jason responded to this originally a couple of years ago, he was taking a position that you can't regulate rental property. Okay? The rental property could be a camper on your premises. So that was his position, as I recall.
How many Airbnbs do you know that have Quonset huts? What's a Scandinavian hut or something? They're making a lot of money on those. They're not gonna.
There's some regulations, I have it at home too, that was sent out, that they can't have over 4 campers. They can have,
Yeah, well, what about the little hut that he's talking about?
Oh, they
I
have-
forget the name of them. I mean, they're nice.
Yeah,
You're
You're,
Yerk. There you go.
they're really
20,
nice.
20, 30 of them at a time in an area. Sure.
I wanna say it's the health department. And because they shut some down over in Southington, I believe it was families. They got together and had some campers, and they told them couldn't have them.
Well, anyway, that's where we are on
Okay.
Airbnbs, so
Okay.
more to follow, I'm sure, but
Do we have any regulation on yurts?
no. That's a term I just heard tonight, so I guess.
same here.
They're pretty nice. They're like a dome. I don't want to say a tent because they cost like 30 grand.
Next time you're bored, go to Mosquito Lake and walk. They have 2 of them by the water. It's real
Mhm.
nice.
And most of them, you set up a composting toilet with them. You could walk in the thing and wouldn't even know it's a toilet. They're nicer than stand next to your septic system. But they're expensive to put in also.
They're permanent. Well, there's regulations of what square footage it is too on permanent property, so I don't know where that would fall in.
You got a lot to look forward to here.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay. Our next meeting, moving on to review meeting dates. Our next meeting is May 3rd, June 10th. And we're just moving right along in the year. Next item on the agenda is comments from the commission members. Kara, do you have anything?
Nope.
You brought up the political signs last time and just,
Turn the clock.
Created a bunch of work.
You're welcome.
Robin.
No, I was just looking at, I'm just gonna talk to, Hartford about what's going on with everything. I'm gonna see if I get a copy of their zoning. Cause I was reading it online on, see if they had anything for signs. They have a bunch of stuff for signs, but I can't read that small print, so when I get home, I'll read it. Maybe they have something we can throw in there.
Another thing I question is, like the logging that's being done, so there's something on my hand that's on my way here.
Agriculture,
Well, they've logged everything out and they cleaned up well, I guess there, but there was a trailer or something there that they destroyed, but the scrap is all there. So is there something that we can say to that to issue them some kind of notice that it has to be cleaned up? You know where I'm talking?
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, there was a lady that lived there, she was
That's
gonna
healthy.
donate to the
What's that?
historic, not the historical, but she was gonna donate to the, I can't think what
Which
it's
house is
called
it?
now, that went back on the bike trails and
Yeah.
stuff.
The
Yeah,
property
so
goes
you're
up
coming
to,
from- something like it's right there.
Yeah.
And they logged it out and then there's, like, you can just see all the scrap back there.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I noticed on the way here is the house east of Handenman on High Shaper. The trailer that's there, it looks like there's boarded up windows on it now.
East of High
On the
Shaper.
trailer.
And the trail, it's a
Yeah.
trailer there. The one that I think they cleaned it up, there was a dumpster over there the other day. And I don't know if they moved out or whatever, but the windows there's like boards up on the windows.
Where was it on, Vivian?
It's on High Shafer. It's east of
Oh,
Denman.
it's
First
across from
place on the
Roscoe's.
left. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Across from the Jim Brown farm.
yeah.
It's back a little ways.
missing.
It's
That-
cleaned up. I mean, actually, the yard looks better than it's looked in a long time.
There's a
But-
body, truck body or something there. Yeah, I know where you
don't
mean.
that's still-
They cleaned that up a lot, believe me.
Oh,
That's
no, they
been,
did clean it up. I was just wondering.
it's been a
because it
pain
looks
in the
like
butt
there's
for a number of
boards
years.
I noticed that.
Huh.
I don't know. I just noticed it on my way
Just look at it.
coming here. Just on my way here. So I'll
Wouldn't
take it.
fire
Okay.
that happen, right?
Two little things.
When you
I
say
don't-
scrap in the woods, are you talking about like a structure that's been knocked down
Oh,
or
they
just
demolished
left?
the
They
trailer.
demolished something that was
Yeah,
there.
it
They
looks like
left
they,
that
yeah, it looks
mess
like they
there.
took an
Like
the
excavator
sidewall.
and just.
So it wasn't treetops, it's actual,
It's
No,
already
it was a
being
mobile home.
Yeah, there's a mobile. But they cleaned the trees out. They cleaned that up, but now this is sitting there, a mess. Just,
or they came, took all the steel out of it and left everything else.
that's what I want. There's scrap some of it. Probably what's there is just garbage.
It's on Hyde Schaefer and it's east of Mandan.
That's the trailer. No, on Mahan Denman is where the logging was done.
Yeah,
But
That's one is
The
the
house
trailer.
that she's talking about is, you know where the house is she's talking about.
I
There's
probably
two
do,
separate
but I
things.
just can't get it from,
God bless you.
but yeah, I can't
I
get
just
it.
noticed that like this morning or something, right? That's only happened in the last couple of days. The boarded up windows over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
caught it
just
this
noticed
morning.
that. Well, I just noticed the dumpster there and I noticed it got cleared up. The property got cleared up. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, did they move out? What's going on there?
Right.
Yeah,
It's always
on the
nice.
Hyde Schaefer,
Turn
first house on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you mean. That's been a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I know where you mean. There's a truck body that they put junk in and stuff, sits closer to the road.
It actually looks better. Probably. But the other thing, I'm wondering, can we do anything to make them clean that up?
The health department, that would be a health department issue, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure.
It's garbage. If you think about it, it's garbage. It's not metal, it's not whatever, it's garbage. You tear apart a building, what's left over,
It's just
the construction stuff, yeah.
You could check and see if.
Who did the
a
logging?
Permit was taken out for abandoning the septic and a well. Could check on that real quick.
That's the health department.
Yeah, that's the health department. They'll have that info. Might give us an idea.
It was owned by a woman in Cortland. And it was a relative that lived there for a long time. Whether it still is, I don't know. Okay.
You got the notes, look it up.
Carolyn? I don't have anything. Anybody have anything out there? I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make motion.
Second.
Right.